Cisco and third-party integration, Splunk and Azure, Cisco Endpoint AMP, dashboards, part 2. So in the previous video, I created a bunch of dashboards, and I got some tips from a guy from Splunk around date and time, and maybe how to better formulate some of my queries. So first off, the source type is still the same, but I added threat detected there. From there, I was able to do modified the actual date time string. So now it's called modified underscore time based on that string value I have there. And again, you can tune that to however you want. Instead of fields, it was suggested that I use table and then only include the columns that I'm interested in. And the rename, everything else is still the same, but you can see the format's a little bit cleaner. It's date+time, computer name, file name, malicious, and then the SHA-256. So pretty cool stuff. Anyways, I made those comments in the original video, and I'll include them here in this video as well. So let's look at some other ways of viewing the data. So I got, again, the same individual gave me some guidance here on how I could manipulate the data. So at the top, you see threat detected by severity by host. We've got threat detected by risk level. We can also do things like grab the external IP address and map it to a map. We've got threats detected over time. And then we've got number of vulnerabilities, right? Applications per host. So not all the vulnerabilities, that might be 20, 25 per application, but really focused on how many apps are introducing vulnerabilities. So from here, if we look at the first one, threat detected severity by host, you can see there's the query, right? I'm saying specifically threat detected because I could have severity based on a variety of different things, not just because it's a threat detected or maybe a vulnerability, right? I'm looking for threats that actually are realized. And the way I'm looking at this is that I want to count by event severity per computer hostname, right? And then I've renamed some values here. And you can see that here, pretty simple query, very similar to the previous stuff. Now here we're getting into some pie charts, right? So this one now, again, looking for threat detected, but I'm looking stats count by event severity. And so this gives me a breakdown of the event severity. Unfortunately, all I have is medium severities. And again, you can visualize this data any way you want. I happen to pick a pie chart. This one's pretty cool because what we can do here is actually get the IP location for using the external IP address. That's an event that's generated by AMP for endpoints. And map that to a map based on, in my case, file disposition. So again, there's the query string. And we can see, right, there's a couple clean, a couple malicious coming out of that geolocation. And you can zoom in on that even further. All right, threats detected over time. Again, threat detected was the key piece, and we're looking at this over a 5-minute span, and we want to count by event severity. And there's one field here we get rid of, which is use null. So we just say F, and I believe that means false. And finally, number of vulnerabilities. So what applications are introducing, not what applications, the number of applications introducing vulnerabilities on a host. So here again, now we've got something different. We're not looking for threat detected. We're looking at vulnerable applications detected. And again, broken down by using that stats command. So pretty cool stuff, right? Nice visuals compared to, stuff that looks like a spreadsheet. Now, what I want to do is let's generate some data and refresh the dashboard. So let's go back to the dashboard. We'll assign this now as our new main dashboard when we come to this page. Save that out. This should generate, and if everything's right, we should see some data. Yep, that's perfect. Got a couple of hosts. At the top there, severity. We threat detected severity by host. We only see one. So let's create a little noise here. And what I'm actually pretty impressed with is how fast the data gets into Splunk and that you're able to already view the data. So this is happening as we speak, right? So I'm trying to open up a couple files. I know they're malicious. on the endpoint. So this is a different endpoint than the compromised PC host name that you've seen in the previous videos. And so very quickly, I'm just looking at history. I can see lots of red. That's all I wanted to do there. I'll go back to my compromised host, and I'll just generate some traffic using some of the scripts I have. Enter an IP address. This will do some nmap stuff. This is really cool too because it actually triggers some StealthWatch cloud alerts as well when I start doing some of these scripted tests. But anyway, so we've got some data now coming in. Let's reload that. And remember, we just did this, right? And right away now we see this new asset, right? With 24 events took place. We can now see a couple of unknown files showing up on our map. Events over time, we can see now something's happening as we speak. And then vulnerabilities, there's nothing really changed here. So really cool stuff. It's not that hard. It's really about what you want to do with the data and how you want to present it. Really cool stuff.